Hey, all you tuggers and tugettes. Remember when we said we had something special for you this season? Well, here it is. We are really excited to announce that support for these unprecedented gays is brought to you by Manscaped, providing the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
And I'm about to pick it up, girl, because, Paul, you know Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. You can join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you.
For me?
For you! 20% off and free, guess what? Worldwide shipping, because we are what? Global. So you're going to use the code 2GAYS, and that's TUGAYS at manscaped.com. 6
million men. Now, if my math is correct, that's like 12 million balls.
That's a lot of balls.
That's a lot of balls.
We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Oh, we're starting.
Did I already start?
I just like doing moaning noises.
I'm like, wait, are we supposed to hear our clicks?
You know, listen.
We're so professional.
The clicks are as consistent as I am with knowing things.
Okay.
So they're like...
So not at all.
Yes, the clicks represent the new listener. Who are you?
So, hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
We is.
So, Joe, how was your week?
Well, I've been boring.
Oh.
So, I'm like, there wasn't a lot that happened this week other than just like regular life. The most exciting thing that this represents, like how boring I am, I got a new comforter. At Bed Bath & Beyond. But so
exciting.
So I went to Bed Bath & Beyond and I thought that they were closing because apparently the like CEO or CFO died and now they have no business.
Oh, yes,
whatever.
He killed himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
He like jumped off a building or something.
But do we know why? And when's that Netflix documentary coming out?
Probably because the company is not making any money and it's
they keep sending me those 20% coupons and I keep cashing them in.
It's your fault.
Oh, dear.
No, if anything, I'm helping Mr. Bed Bath & Beyond.
So now he's in the Beyond.
Oh.
Sorry, was that too soon?
No. That happened like 2 weeks ago. It's old news.
It's fine.
And so, yeah, that's about my highlights for the week. Nick, did we do anything?
We got Max a toy.
Oh, yeah.
And you got Max, so you got yourself a comforter and Max a toy.
And it's kind of like a comforter. Nick got him this little, like, it's like a little square and it has little carrots in it. It's like a garden. Aww. And you're supposed to put treats in it and then they can pull out the carrot and eat the treat. So we tried it last night and I put like a couple of treats in it and like, he was like, what the fuck is this? And he like took one, I had to show him like, take out the carrot. And he's like, oh, and they took him out. And then the treats, he couldn't like fit his nose in the hole. And he was like, and I was like,
when that happens.
And I kept saying to Nick, I was like, look what that mouth do. Because Max was like heavy panting. Yeah, and he was like going into it. And like he was like tonguing it. And I was like, this is weird. So yeah, that was about it. What about you?
I also had a very uninteresting week. I mean, Andy made a carrot cake and it was delicious.
Oh, I ate it. I forgot to tell you it was really good.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he also figured out how to make really vivid buttercream
Vivid?
frosting. Yeah, like vividly colored. Like so the purple is really purple and the red is really red.
Wait, the buttercream was white though.
No, on that one it was white. Just something else I was playing with.
Yeah.
Something in the chamber.
He decorated his last slice of cake.
She went through a metamorphosis.
Like a Spanish war.
But do you have to? Isn't that like the gel food coloring?
Use gel food coloring, but there's a hack to get it because even with that, food coloring looks kind of pastel-y.
Opaque. Yeah.
And this was like as red as a fire engine. Or
How did
as
you
red as
do
that.
it? Give us the hack.
You're gonna have to watch my YouTube video when
It's
it comes
blood.
out eventually.
It's going to drop later, everybody. What'd you say?
It's blood.
Well, actually, it would turn brown after a while because it would oxidize. Yeah.
Oh.
Other than that, it's been, my boss made fun of me because he calls my water bottle my sippy cup.
Why?
Because it got misplaced.
Oh my gosh.
And I was running around like, where's my water bottle? Where's my water bottle? Where's my water bottle? I couldn't even say that 3 times real fast.
Is this the one you lost?
Water bottle.
This is the one that I lost at
the symphony.
at the symphony,
Okay.
and then I got it back, and then
How'd you get it back?
So we went.
Wait,
to
tell me the story. What was the symphony?
So I went to the symphony with my friend Bruce a couple of weeks
Okay.
ago, and you could take your water bottle in; it has to be empty.
Yes,
but then you
yes.
can fill it at the water fountain.
Okay.
So that's what I did, and then I left it there by accident.
Was
But
this
the
in San
other
Diego?
yeah, in
Okay.
San Diego. And so the other people who were sitting at the table we were at took it home with them and kept bringing it back every week until they saw Bruce again, my friend, and gave it to him, and he gave it back to me.
Every week?
Well, Bruce is a season ticket holder, so
Right.
he does all of the summer series.
That is so nice.
I know.
That's faith restored in humanity.
I know. So then, like the other day, I misplaced it, and I was running around looking for it, and then my boss was like, "Are you missing your sippy cup?" Because it's like,
Tell him it's homophobic and you're going to sue.
I'm going to tell HR. Oh wait, that's me.
That's you.
All right. Well, then you can handle it. Is your sippy cup like your weighted blanket, kind of? Like, does it bring you comfort?
No, I just wanted to know where my water bottle is because it's an expensive water bottle. So
What kind of water bottle is
it's a
it?
Hydro Peak.
Oh, so the like stainless steel insulated ones?
Yes.
Ooh, those keep it so cold.
I know this is a grouping conversation, but what about your luau?
Oh yeah, and
I mean, talking about
guess
water bottles is fascinating to our listeners.
I mean, you didn't want to tell us how you got laid.
I mean,
Ow.
our listeners listen because we keep it real. It's all about real life here.
And guess what? We may not remember what we did sometimes.
Right.
And the listeners are identifying with that.
So the restaurant group that I work for, they had their luau with one of the restaurants this weekend.
Which is the restaurant again?
The Grass Skirt.
Yeah,
In
shout
San Diego.
out.
Shout out San Diego. Grass Skirt. Okay.
I went to one of those.
You did with Andy a couple years ago.
Was that last year? Or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago. No, wait,
No,
it had to be last year.
You met the couple that I was singing with.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
God, that seemed like it was so long ago.
Right.
Oh, my
So
God.
it's been a year. So they had their luau, which is their anniversary for the opening of the restaurant.
Okay.
So I did around 370, 380 bao buns.
You are a bell bun boy.
I am. But they were upset with me because I walked in and they were like, "Where's the rompum?"
Oh, and you were like, that's so last year, bitch.
I'm like, I can't wear that twice in a row. Like, I have to
exactly.
keep it
Well, you're
fresh.
defining fashion.
Right. And so I had this really cute, like, tiki shirt. It says tiki time on it with, like, a cat and everything. And everybody was like, I love your shirt.
Did you get it from Tommy Bahama?
No.
Okay.
Is there one like that in Tommy Bahama?
Isn't Tommy Bahama like Hawaiian stuff?
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
He is. Okay.
I don't know.
So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and we see the same people, some of the same people every year. So it's really fun to see them. But girl,
Tell me what.
so they didn't get the permit to do live music in the parking lot,
No.
so they had to do it inside the restaurant. And guess where they put them?
Right next to you.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, I see what y'all doing because the old guy here can't hear, so you're gonna put the band next to him. But I was like, oh, it's okay because they're called Tiki-tronic. Shout out to Tiki-tronic. Follow them on Instagram.
Okay.
But they're actually really good, and they do like electronic tiki versions of 70s and 80s songs.
Okay, I'm for that.
It was crazy. They had a little like wooden xylophone type thing that they'd play along with. It was very cool.
It was very cool.
I like
must
that.
say.
Okay.
So anyway, all right. So we get to go to our favorite segment, the one we love, the one that gives us life. It's time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation. So Joe, what's giving you life this week?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Good times.
I have like a couple, and one of them, I don't know if it's like whatever. But so we'll start with the whatever one. So Matt Gaetz admitting he's an underage sex trafficker because he asked for a pardon from Donald Trump. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's giving me life because that's like bad people are starting to like their true selves are starting to surface.
That whole group of people right now are all
Get 'em,
under
right?
investigation.
Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, get them.
Ron DeSantis, the Republican Party's two top contenders to run for 2024, which was supposed to be Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, and they're both under investigation.
Criminal, right?
Yep.
Well, I forgot Ron DeSantis because I don't want to put that in my mind because that's just not cool. Like the fact that they like shipped him to Martha's Vineyard. First, I was like, okay, so they get to go to Martha's Vineyard, and then second, I was like, okay, buddy. Like,
So what are you talking about for those who may not know?
well, hopefully I accurately described the situation. But Ron DeSantis, I always want to say DeSantos, by the way, and I know it's not the name. He shipped migrants from Texas, and by shipped I mean put them on a plane.
Well, that would be Abbott.
That was Abbott. So
Well, no.
He paid for
okay.
it
Lord,
with taxpayer
And
dollars.
from what I understand, it was like $600,000.
Oh, he has a $12 million fund.
To ship them. Yeah, but it's like you just shipped 50 or so people for $600,000
Of taxpayer money.
$13,000 a person.
Of taxpayers' money.
What are you? What?
They were flying first class though. Good for
Okay,
them.
I'm like first class up in the sky.
Oh, they were in the glamorous life.
I think the best part about that story, though, is that the people of Martha's Vineyard were like, well, this is terrible for you, but we're going to take care of you.
So that's what they were trying to do, was they were trying to make it so the Democrats would be hypocritical by sending those people there. And,
But they rose up.
But they rose up and were like, no, we're going to take care of these people.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yep.
Let's do this.
They were like,
'Cause
Andre Days, rise up.
Well, because they also shipped them to, like, where Kamala Harris is.
How would you, what would you do if you were Kamala Harris and people just, like, showed up at your front door? I'd be like, oh, hi. Or maybe she'll go to Joe Biden and be like, we did it, Joe. They're sending us people who need refuge from other countries.
No, it would have been Paul yelling at Andy to start making more food because they're going to need to
Make
some
another
more.
cake. Because
You need to dye that buttercream, babe. So that's one of the things that's giving me life. And then another thing today, at least, there were two things today that gave me life. One is Rubicon Deli. I know I was telling you about that earlier. And the second one is Crumble Cookies, but not the cookies, but the app. There's an app.
Oh, I know.
there's
I
an
use the app all the time.
Okay, so Nick used the app before, and I was like, whatever. Oh my god. So I used it today while I was at work at the office, and
Are you not a Crumble, like, reward member?
no, because So here's the reason why. Because when you have a problem, you can't engage with the problem until you because I would spend so much money on Crumble, and it's just not it's not in my best interest to like have the Crumble app daily, because I may have accidentally eaten half of 8 cookies today.
Half. So you ate 4.
Of 8. It sounds better.
So you
half
ate
of
4
8.
total.
And that's why I can't have. So, but the best part about it is like, so we work up in UTC, and I was like, oh, okay, this will probably take like an hour and a half to get them delivered. I ordered it in the morning at like 10, and they were there maybe like 10:30. They were there in like 15 minutes.
Oh.
They were warm.
Oh, yeah, they're always warm.
I was
like, the heating.
I was like, what is this? So shout out to Crumble and also Rubicon Deli. So those two are giving me life. And then the last thing.
Okay, can I just say something real quick, though?
You may.
You need to, like, go ahead and become a rewards member, because for every
How do I
$100
do
you
it?
spend...
How do I do it?
I don't know.
Well, I don't.
Just go on there and become a
My
member.
account details. Oh, there's no info about me. It has a birthday. If I have my birthday, will we give it a free cookie?
You'll get a free cookie. But you get points for the money that you spend, and then that's like free cookies.
Wait, okay, hold on. This is strange. Why does it have an in-store purchase when I didn't like anything?
I don't know.
Anyway.
But we have to move on.
And the last thing I'm obsessed with is Girls to Five Eva on Peacock. Have you watched it?
I try watching it. Andy doesn't like it, so I have to like watch it when
It
he's
is
not here.
it is so stupid.
And like the new season is out or
yes,
something.
and it is so stupid.
And Renee Elise Goldberry is on She-Hulk. Just saying, if you like Renee Elise Goldberry, she is on.
She's
on She-Hulk.
also like 50 plus, and she looks stunning and has beautiful boobs.
Yes.
They're like perky and cleavage-y. Cleavage-esque. So those are my obsessions. What are you obsessed with?
So I am obsessed with the new season of Lower Decks. So the animated Star Trek show.
Not the Bravo Below Deck show.
No, not the Below Deck. It's Lower Deck.
You know what? I feel like we've talked about this, and I thought the same thing last time.
But the new season is out, and I love it. I'm not really obsessed with it, but I'm obsessed by thinking about it because, Canada, Drag Race Canada just ended. So did Drag Race
Down Under.
Down Under just finished. Drag Race UK starts in a couple of days.
Oh, does it?
Or will have started by the time this comes out. And then Drag Race España is coming out with season 3. And they announced that they will be the first franchise to do a Drag Race All-Star season from their franchise.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I'm like, can we just slow down just a little bit?
Now you know how I feel, because you guys have actually watched a couple of them.
We watched Canada. We watched fully Down Under.
I've just
I think we'll probably watch UK.
Yeah.
So,
I can't keep a track of it all.
But, and there's Drag Race Canada versus the World.
Isn't there Drag Race Philippines on right now as well?
Drag Race Philippines is on. I like it. Andy's not so much a fan.
It's rough.
Why? But, okay, is it worse than Canada?
Way worse.
Really? So the production is way worse?
The production is not great. They did not give them a lot of... But I love the way the guy says, 1 million pesos. And that's exactly how he says it.
Pesos?
Pesos.
Is that their currency?
It is just a really weird... The temperament of the performer, it's very high energy and almost sloppy high energy. So, they're going around...
It's a lot of screaming.
Do you think that's just culturally because that's how it is over?
Yes, I think it is. There's a part of it that's just culturally, and I love it because then I'm learning some Tagalog, so that I call my mom and I'm like, Mom.
We learned, hey bitches.
Okay, so not the lifetime of mother.
Wait, how do you say hey bitches in Tagalog?
Huh?
How do you say hey bitches in Tagalog?
Hey bitches in
Tagalog.
Tagalog.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. All of our Filipino listeners, if you want to email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com, you can let us know what that is.
Mabuhay, right?
And there they say mabuhay.
Oh, why?
Because they're
They
gay.
gayify it.
Yeah. It's like a yesify.
Oh my God.
So,
tell me.
If anybody's been watching the news lately, they know that Queen Elizabeth II passed away.
Yes.
And it became this huge thing, a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of grandeur, a lot of pageantry. It was in the news a lot, even though Puerto Rico is underwater, and that should be something that we should
Or are they
talk
swimming?
about.
Is that Fiona?
Yeah, they had Hurricane Fiona. So yet again, Puerto Rico is underwater, and they need
Puerto
help.
Rico. Don't we own them? As a USA?
I mean, they are a U.S. territory. We don't own them.
Isn't that this, right? No? They're part of our country.
Yes.
It is a U.S. territory.
A providence?
Subject to federal U.S.
Right.
law.
Okay.
But Queen Elizabeth's funeral got a lot more attention than anything else. And people were queuing up for days to go view the body.
Hours, yeah.
Days.
It was days.
Oh.
People waited. They had to stop. There was an app where you could view how long the wait is.
Oh my God! Can you get a fast pass in Disneyland?
Right? It's they probably could if you were a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
But because there were so many people wanted to go, but there was such a small amount of space for the funeral. Only Joe Biden was the only American dignitary who went. But they had an app where people could figure out how long it was going to wait. The app crashed.
Of course it
when
did.
it was 12 hours, people got back on. It was 24 hours.
Oh my God.
To wait to view the body.
So here's the thing with that. I understand that she's been the reigning queen for 90 years or something.
Something like that.
So the only
75.
people that are have seen a different queen or whatever are 100, if that.
Unless they're watching all those seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. They see a different queen every time.
No, those are the kind of queens that I like. That's the kind of queens. I didn't care for it all. I was like, okay, cool.
Well, it's very interesting because for for us in America, we don't really do a lot of this kind of stuff in the way of funerals and stuff like that. And in the UK and other countries, they do this huge pageant-like thing. But I was also like, it's very Catholic to have a viewing of the body for like days on end first.
But also, I hope she was
heads
embalmed.
Of state, even in the U.S., it's not religious. That heads of state will have, they'll put the body in the Capitol
state,
and people will come.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a president?
Do they freeze the body?
John McCain was the last one to lay in state, I think, right?
No, they're embalmed. They're like for sure.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, it was Ginsburg. You're right.
Okay, but do they how do they keep the body fresh for that long?
They don't keep them
They
fresh.
embalm it.
Oh,
They get rid of all the fluids. They inject it with ammonia, and then it's preserved.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not a mortician. I just play one on TV.
you just play one on a
As
podcast.
they said in the play Oklahoma, it's summer and they're running out of ice.
Oh my god.
But this got us thinking like about death and funerals and things because a lot of things have changed in the past 2.5 years since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that hasn't changed, I mean, death always happens, but the funeral business is very like staunch in how they want to do things. And so they don't really do a lot of like changing and adapting.
It will. I mean, they've been around for God knows how long.
Well, it's always been a business. If
Yeah.
They're like right behind prostitution as the oldest business in the book.
Probably.
Because people always need sex and they always die.
Yeah.
Sometimes
At
doing the same thing.
Imagine. Wait. Business idea. Prostitution funeral home, where you can come and come.
Oh my gosh.
But this was interesting because I'm like, okay, so we have to understand that like I've been to a couple. I mean, have you ever? You've been to two.
I've been.
You said,
I think
right?
2.
And who were they?
My grandma and then my great uncle. The most recent one I think was my grandma, and it was at least an adult. It was like 2016.
And were you close to either one of those?
I was close to my grandma.
Okay.
I feel like it's weird because I don't really have a lot of like emotional connection when people die as of now. So like, I mean, when my parents die, yes, it's going to be like way harder. But like my grandparents, I was like, okay, that's fine. They die. Like,
yeah. Because see, like I've been to a couple. I had to plan my father's funeral, which thank God it was like he was in the military because that was all taken care of. Like I didn't have to pay a penny, except when we went to go get the body from South Carolina and then bring it back
because it's expensive to die.
It is expensive to die.
You think, oh, I'm dead now. I'm good.
No, it is a burden for the people who are left behind.
Yes,
and that's what people are trying to decide now is like, what can I do to make it better or easier when I die?
Yep.
So now, have you thought about what you're going to do when you die? Or what you want people to do? Not what you're going to do. You're just going to lay there.
Well, I have like a couple like life paths that I could potentially take because like one of them is like euthanizing myself like in my like 60s so that I go out on my own terms. I know that's pretty morbid. I want to go, so whenever I would like to go out, I want to go out when I'm not, like, before I can't do things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be, like, to the point where I can't walk.
You don't want to be a burden on those people who you love, who have to take care of you after.
I just want to be like, hey, we're having a party. I'm going. Like in Grace and Frankie. Or like in Golden Girls. There was an episode where she was going to do, like, euthanasia.
Well, there was actually a movie with Eric Roberts as the lead, and he was, I think he was dying of AIDS or something, and he had a party, and he was telling people, like, because he was going to die at the end of the party or going to kill himself the next day or something like that. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's, this is kind of deep, but okay.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I think part of me would love to just donate my body to science, because I'm not going to need it. Like, you guys take it, right? Like, go do your thing. Maybe I could be one of those, like, on displays in a museum or something. We'll get into it, but that was one of the things I found. I was like, oh.
For me, I kind of want it to be like a celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want people to be around while the cremator is...
Oh.
Like, I want to be cremated.
Okay.
So I just want people outside going, burn, baby, burn.
Disco Inferno? with that song playing.
Yes. And I don't want like a service. I want like a circuit party.
Okay.
I want like, because
am I invited?
Everybody's invited. I mean,
Okay.
if you're 60, you're probably going to be gone by then.
Oh, yeah, you might outlive me.
You just never know. But like, I want to have like a party.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I want people to remember. See, that was always
The celebration, yeah.
That was always my fear when I was younger, is that people wouldn't remember me or they wouldn't come to my funeral.
That's an irrational fear of mine that I would have no lasting impact on the world.
Fame, I'm gonna live.
Oh, we're on a fame kick.
Okay, could you stop? That earworm is in my head already. But
Remember when we sang it? Fame.
Oh yeah.
remember.
Oh, God. Did you know Luther Vandross did that part and he ad-libbed it on the spot?
What?
Luther Vandross. That's
Nope.
just a little tidbit of trivia for you people. But in Fame, Luther Vandross did the background vocals and he created this remember.
I thought it was a girl that sings it.
Nope.
I mean,
it was Luther
maybe.
Vandross.
Girl sings the main part, Irene Cara.
Yeah. So anyway, but like that was a fear of mine when I was younger, and it still kind of is a fear. Like I would die and nobody would show up.
I would show up. I would 100% show up. You know what? If Sarah McLachlan were to sing "I Will Remember You," you would be remembered, Paul.
Oh,
because you have touched so many people.
Do you ever think about what song you want played at your funeral?
Rain on Me. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, did you? Speaking of Rain on Me, did
Yes,
you,
the thunderclap.
Okay,
We were singing
and
at the
I was
concert.
so pissed because I was like, "Listen, Lady Gaga, I know that you want like your fans to be safe, but it's rain. Just sing the damn song while it's raining. That's all I want. That's all I freaking want."
And they would love that.
They wouldn't care if they get electrocuted,
Right?
Because it would give them life, and they wouldn't die from the thunderbolt or whatever. So wait, back to the celebration. Do you remember the? Did you ever see Big Fish, the movie Big Fish?
That's the one with Ewan McGregor,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Okay, so my like funeral idea is the end of that movie because the dad basically has this big celebration and so many people show up and it's like a remembering party, and I don't want my like exit of this world to be sad. I want it to be happy, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's a fear that a lot of people have, and they just talk about it.
Death is a scary thing.
You know, and yeah, but it's also like, I also don't want to, like, some people will create like prepaid funerals.
What does that mean?
Like they'll pay for their funeral and all the things before they die.
I feel
So
like
their
that
family
wouldn't
have
hold
to-
up though. Like if I pay for a funeral now, what if they don't honor
Inflation,
that? Yeah,
girl.
what if they don't honor that charge?
They will. It's part of the thing.
It's part of the package.
It's part of like the reason to say if you buy it now.
It's the reason to save it. If you buy now, shipping and handling is free, and we'll give you a second one on us.
It's a weird business strategy, but they're
Maybe I
basically
should
saying
get a funeral.
locking in the cost now
Damn.
at today's rates, and then
Because
whatever
then,
it costs.
then you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Wow. Should I get my casket?
I don't know. You were involved in planning, so and in the military, as you said, your dad. A lot of the choices were there, but when I've done planning for different family members' funerals, they definitely play on your,
on your grief.
Not that the funeral business was inappropriate in any way, but it's definitely like one of those. Well, you could get the pine box, or you could get the walnut stained
It's very
satin line.
Yeah, it's very much like almost like buying a car
or wedding. All of these things become measures of your love or of the level of grief.
I didn't even think about like a wedding. Oh my god! Like those are the two things like that make a lot of money off of big life changes.
Yeah,
because like you're getting married or you're dying. That's a huge life change.
Right.
Because you're no longer alive.
But if you do the
That's
pre-planning,
called the change of life.
if you pre-plan, then you're taking that off your relatives. So I mean, there's some good things about it because you're basically leaving it that there are no variables for them to feel guilty about not picking the fancy walnut coffin.
Have you figured out like what you want to do? Like, have you written out like your plan?
Oh, I have no will. I have nothing in my name.
But like, not even a will, but like, just what would you want people to do? Like, because you don't want this big thing. You don't want them spending a lot of money on it. Like, what your wishes are, because you also don't want people fighting over things and like you
Yeah.
know, like when family members do that, because when somebody dies, it becomes this whole thing.
I think the thing that like probably for me, I got lucky because my dad took out a life insurance policy for me, and he's paying it. It's like $7 a year, basically.
How much is the insurance?
Not
policy?
a lot.
Oh,
It's
okay.
enough to cover funeral expenses.
I think it's like
I was gonna say if it was a lot, then you should be like.
No.
Do you notice anybody following you?
so it was to pay student loans.
Okay.
So and that was morbid. Like he was like, I'm going to take out a life insurance policy in case you cease to exist, so that I would then be able to pay off all the student loans because they get transferred.
Oh.
He had, or sorry, they had loans in their name that they took out. Their parent plus loans, yeah.
I mean,
so it wouldn't go away.
It's
So,
smart.
but like, so now I have a life insurance policy. So I'm thankful in that regard. Where like, whenever I do cease to exist, like the cost should be covered, hopefully. But like, who knows how much it would cost?
So I was reading some stuff on this, and
Tell me.
you know, funeral directors and the business are basically refusing to rise up and meet the ever-changing landscape of how people grieve and their concept of death. So, you know, they're just not taking into consideration a lot of what, you know, digitally how we're dealing with this now.
I feel like people don't care about, like, this sounds bad, but people don't have as much of a connection to death anymore because they're like, well, you're just going to die. It is what it is. Like, we don't need to have this big ceremony.
Well, especially what we just went through, like, you know, a couple million people died over
COVID,
2 years. So it's like we have a different idea of death now.
And young people, too, I think, have a different perspective.
But I also see where the need is for a funeral or something like that to bring the people that do care about you together so they can have their last goodbye and they can share in memories with people and things like that. So I do see where that becomes something.
Yeah.
But like I was also reading like how people are doing things differently. Like I remember in, I think it was like 1999, Mark Grunwald died unexpectedly. He was he worked for Marvel Comics.
Okay.
And so he died unexpectedly of a heart attack or something, or brain aneurysm, I can't remember. But he, as part of what he wanted done with his body was he was cremated. The ashes were then put into the ink that was made to do the reprinting of Squadron Supreme, which is a comic book that he worked on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so cool.
I have
now
so
a
many
comic book?
alternative funeral options, and that was one of them where you can use the cremated remains for an art piece.
Right.
It's a charcoal medium, or like a carbon. Like it's basically like people will paint or whatever with your ashes.
Or you could get those ashes, put into the ink, and get a tattoo.
Oh, is that safe?
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't see a reason why it would be safe. I think it's safe.
All right, now Paul, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Have you ever tried doing a little cleanup downstairs around the old Twig and Berries, and you find that you nicked yourself and it looked like a horror movie?
Well, I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but my junk always seems a little like a horror movie.
Girl, love yourself, but we know.
I mean, I try to. That's probably why it looks like that down there.
Amen.
But I really don't like to groom down there that much because I hate cuts and ingrown hairs. I mean, why bother?
You don't want nicks and cuts. I like Nick, but not,
Cuts.
those kinds of nicks. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You want to know why? Because the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped just arrived, and girl and boy and whatever you are, it is a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer. Do you trim your nose hairs? Because I do.
I do, but I use scissors and I'm like,
That's dangerous.
Like
what if it goes in your brain?
I'm going to cut myself.
You don't want to be on 100,000 Ways to Die, or whatever it is. But the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant is also in there, and the Crop Revive Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. What a package!
Well, let's talk about the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get that 20% off worldwide free shipping with code TUGAYS.
So what are some of the trends that you saw that
I have a long list.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, so because this fascinated me because I didn't know. Like, I feel like it was opening up my eyes to like all of these alternative options because I honestly had no clue. I was like, funeral. When you said let's talk about funerals, I was like, how are we going to expand?
Right,
on that?
because people just don't know what their
and
options
I was
are.
the people. I represent the uneducated, and I was like, funeral. So like, okay. So the one that was really interesting that you just touched on, oops, hold on, where are my notes? 1 second. Was the art one, because I was like, that's really cool.
Well, and people can also do, they can get it made into jewelry.
Okay, so I got diamond. So I'm going to tell you a story about when Max dies, because I was like, I want to make him into a diamond. And then we were talking about this at work today, and we were like, what if a serial killer like actually killed all of his victims or her victims and then made them into diamonds and then got rid of the bodies that way and then like collected them and was like, look at my rings. But it was like,
but I think you have to send that, like, there's like a whole process that has to go into
listen,
that.
if you got money. So anyway, like I've known about the diamond where you basically can get pressed into a diamond. But with the Max story is that I looked it up and it's like $5,000. So I was like, Max, you're not worth that.
Well, okay, so in South Korea, they have a company that will like press them into like and make it into amethyst or sapphires and things like that. But this came about because in 2000, South Korea made it a law where if you bury someone, they can only be buried for 60 years, and then you have to get rid of the grave because of their dwindling grave space.
Well, and the plots are like, I think for us it's every 100 years.
Is it?
Because I think what I heard is that like after 100 years, that person will have no one that remembered them.
Oh my God!
Unless you're in like a cemetery.
South Korea believe that their people aren't going to live that long,
or they just like, we're done.
Yeah, probably. So what about some other ones?
Okay, well, I got diamonds.
Okay.
We talked about being turned into artwork, which I still think that one's really cool. The other one that was interested was called Eternal Reefs. And basically what they do is there's a company in Georgia, and it's called External Reefs or Eternal Reefs.
But is that the country or the state of Georgia?
Oh, that's a good point. Both. Okay. And what they do is they create artificial reef material out of a mixture of concrete and human remains, which are then placed in areas where reefs need restoration, and it attracts fish and other organisms that turn the remains into an undersea habitat.
Mm-hmm. I think that is so cool.
Right? Because our coral reefs are going away. So, like, what if you can help?
I thought you were saying wreath as like W-R.
Reef. As in like, a coral reef.
Yeah.
Like reefer madness.
Eternal reef.
That's I had really a woman today called...
What?
Okay, so... yeah.
Paul! In front of your husband!
She's like... So she called and she was trying to spell her name. And I'm like... Oh, S as in Sam or F as in Frank? And then she spells it again, and I'm like, again, S as in Sam or F as in Frank.
When you when you spell out stuff, like when you have to spell out your name or whatever, like on the phone, do you get nervous on what you're going to reference? You're like, S as in Simone, I as in, or M as in Macedonia,
I do.
I as in Irma.
Because, like, my boss is naval, and like a lot of people call her military, so they have their own like system of call letters.
Oh, like
for
Dodger, Bravo.
Bravo.
I want to say not their own. It's a pretty standardized system.
Is it? Because I'm all like H as in hippo, U as in unicorn.
I have done G as in giraffe before.
I'm like L as in llama.
Well, and then it's funny because then sometimes you're like, oh, we're like on an animal theme. We're good. Or like it's like food.
Or like D as in didgeridoo.
You should do cheeses. I could do G as in gorgonzola. R as in...
S as in sticky cheese.
Well,
M as in mozzarella.
Because for me, the last name, like Granelli, Granelli, and they're like, the double L gets people, and it's like L as in llama, L as in Love.
Lima.
I always get so nervous
Lima.
when I do it. Okay, wait, what were we talking about?
You could say you could go Lima Lima because it's really Lima. You have 2 L's.
Oh.
So you could say Lima Lima.
Well, then they were like, what?
When you just think you're excited.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I have to give them. Wait, yeah. So that's I don't know where we're going with that.
We were talking about eternal reefs.
Oh yes, eternal reefs. That was really cool. That was the one I thought was really fun. What else do you have?
So I have there is you can do people in Tibet do a sky burial. So Buddhists in Tibet believe that the value of sending their loved ones' souls towards heaven, the bodies are left outside, often cut into pieces.
Oh.
For birds or other animals to devour. This serves the dual purpose of eliminating the now empty vessel of the body and allowing the soul to depart, while also embracing the circle of life and giving sustenance to animals and Mother Earth.
Okay.
But I love that idea of giving back to the earth because people have also been known to use their ashes to become parts of seeds or something.
You can become a tree. That was one that I saw. Where they plant you, they put you in a tree, and then you're nourishment for the tree.
But your whole body in it?
I don't know. I just know.
Or do you become some of the compost that gets scattered around the tree?
I think. Or maybe they just bury your body under a tree.
Nitrogen, one of the things that's needed for your plants.
Sure.
And I think that when they cremate you, you become a nitrogen rich.
I think that
thing.
But that's all carbon.
Oh, maybe isn't that anyway? There's an element of you become something that then the tree needs.
Tree needs.
Like the bee's knees, but the trees. Did you know that there's also a thing called a water cremation?
What?
No.
Yeah. So it's called hydrolysis, which is AKA liquefying a body.
Oh.
Do
they just put you in a blender?
I think I saw that on Dexter.
Exactly.
Did they just put you in a Vitamix? Oh my god, look at that picture!
So basically, it's they put your corpse in a vat of solution that dissolves everything but the bones, which are then crushed into ashes and returned to the family. It is more eco-friendly than burning.
Oh, because you don't want to give the greenhouse gases.
Correct. Which, because flame cremation spews as much carbon dioxide as a 600-mile drive per body.
What if you're I hate the world, I'm going to go out and make it just cremate and give all these gases.
They're already giving a lot of gas?
I did have a lot of gas.
But it's only legal in 15 states right now.
Being melted by water or whatever.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
That looks like the iron lung.
It does look like an iron lung.
Oh my god, what if you're in an iron lung and then that's how they dispose of you because it's too difficult to get you out? Oh. I don't know, maybe it's a thing.
What else you got?
So another one that I have is just general cremation, but it's related to space burial. And so what they do is they put you in space, all of your ashes. And so I had a couple questions with this, which we may not answer, but I don't know how they get you out into space. And do you have to go up on your own rocket launch with astronauts? I didn't really understand.
Can you ask Jeff Bezos to take you up?
Well, or William Shatner went up there, right? Didn't he go up in that?
In Star Trek?
No, didn't he go up?
I don't know.
I think he went up to with Jeff Bezos.
No, he didn't.
Did he?
I don't think so.
So it goes on with whatever flights are going up. You can.
They're like a package.
For the starting at $2,495.
Okay,
you can go over the Earth, orbit,
so
over the moon, or into the Voyager, deep space.
All right,
I want to go into deep space.
So Voyager.
Deep.
Okay, this is great news because my dad wants this, and he.
Oh my god,
he would love to go into the Voyager, but so. I have joked with him and my brother that me and my brother, when my dad dies, we're just going to slingshot my dad's ashes up as high as we can, and that's what we'll do. But $3,000 is affordable.
It's $2,500, girl.
Oh, $2,500. Can I buy it now and lock in my ring? Can I get a second one for free? My mom does not want to go in space. She wants to be scattered in, I think, Lake Tahoe and then Pennsylvania, or like Lake Erie.
You know what I think would be cool is if places like, you know, specialty places or like places by the ocean or something like that had like a place where you could pay like a $10 entrance fee, and that's where it's specifically made for you to scatter ashes.
Yeah.
Business idea, y'all.
We'll trademark that.
Huh?
We could do it at Black's Beach.
Right over all. Dude.
Can we scatter the ashes over the new? They're like, report? What is this rain? They wouldn't know.
Okay, so I have another one. So you can get buried in a mushroom suit.
In a
mushroom suit. It's an entirely biodegradable garment worn by the deceased. It's made up of mushrooms and other microorganisms that neutralize toxins found in the body. So basically, if the person who died is a fun guy, they can be a fun guy. But
look at the pictures of this.
But I think that's so cool, though. Like, people are thinking outside the box for how they will want to like bury somebody, or how because like green burials are very big right now.
Yeah, because they don't want to have a big like emission or impact, and then they just kind of like decompose and they're like made to compost.
It's still kind of $1,500, so for $1,000 more, you can go into space.
That's it?
Okay, I'm honestly pretty surprised by these.
But you get to eat the mushrooms afterwards.
I know. Do we get to pick what kind of mushrooms? I would like to be a mixture
LSD.
of Head of the Woods
You would
and
get
King Oyster. And okay, so another thing that I've noticed is people, like, this is a trend, is public emotion.
Is it a TikTok trend?
It is actually.
Oh my god! Can you imagine TikTokers like funeral challenge or whatever?
But it's like, well, they already have it because they're doing that NyQuil and chicken, like cooking chicken and
Nick
NyQuil.
told me that yesterday, and I was like, "Let them eat it."
It's like when they were eating Tide.
I told him,
Pods.
I was like, add a Tide Pod to it. Eliminate Darwin's survival of the fittest. Goodbye.
So something I noticed is people are now doing public emotion things instead of private emotion.
What is that?
It's just like you put it out there that, you know, because usually when death happens, it's usually a very private thing.
Yeah.
And it's usually saved for like family and friends and things like that. But now people are going on and discussing it on Instagram and TikTok. I think and just putting it all out there for everyone to see.
Yeah, I think that's nice because it's a relatability, and then people can like sympathize and also feel like relation, you know, to that. I don't know. I'm all about like emotions and like letting people in. So
I want to do a couple more of your like alternatives, because then I want to talk about like some cultural like things.
Oh, I didn't do any of that.
That's okay. I'm good.
Okay, because I just Googled like alternative funeral options. I feel like cultural stuff could be fun because we'll you know, I represent the new listener and we're gonna learn. So another one that I didn't know was actually popular is cryogenic freezing. I don't know the cost.
Because that's what they did to Disney's head.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was his whole body.
Yeah,
his head is frozen somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes.
In case that they want to put it on like a robot. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah, he's cryogenically frozen so that he can come back and be terrible. Oh.
Even Cooper is aghast.
Cooper just thudded up, was like, whoop. Did you say aghast? Okay, Agatha Christie, chill out. And then, let's see. I talked about space burial. Mummification is apparently on the rise.
Oh, it's coming back, girl.
And I was like, okay. Like,
but like, do people know how this works? Because like, it was a science back in the day.
Well, and my thing is like, we know what happened when the mummy returned. Right? And we know what happened with the Scorpion King.
Okay, calm down, Brendan Fraser.
Oh, boy.
He was hot in that.
Yeah, but you ever seen him now?
Yeah. I mean, not so good.
George of the Jungle.
And then I kind of talked about this earlier, but it's called plastination, where you basically, it's kind of like plastic. You don't become plastic, but what they do is they like preserve you in a way that you can be presented at like those bodies exhibits. So stuff like that. I don't know what it is.
This stuff.
Yeah. So, like, you could do that. So, like, that, I could do that, maybe.
I don't know if I could do that.
Well, you wouldn't be doing anything. You would just be there. And then the last one that I thought was super cool is being turned into a firework.
Ooh.
Because then, you know what? I figured it out. I want to be turned into a firework, and I want them to shoot me off and play Katy Perry's Firework. And then rain on me as the ashes rain on people. Over Black's Beach, and they get dusted. There we go. That's my death.
Did you know that people could also be turned into bullets?
Oh.
And then, yeah, so you can... I don't know what you would use that bullet for.
Avenge the person that killed you. Right? That's a business. If you were murdered, you can then use that bullet to kill your murderer.
Well, not you, but somebody you know.
Well, yeah. I see that. Okay.
You see where the problem is with your business model.
Damn.
It's a timeline.
You know what? In the future,
Supply
you might
chain.
be able to do something like that.
You'd be like, sir, would you like to lock in that rate right now?
For 2,500. Oh my god.
Well, and if you die of natural causes, you're shit out of luck.
Exactly.
I know, then you're just like a bullet. Like,
you're shooting a bullet into the air.
and what if you, what if you just get, lost somewhere? Oh, man. That's all I got.
All right, so some of the things that I've seen, traditional-wise. So, of course, you have, in New Orleans, you have the jazz funerals where they do the somber kind of walk beforehand, but then once they put the body in the ground, it turns into a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of times when you see them parading down the street, it's usually because somebody has passed and that they're, celebrating their life. And that's part of their idea, is that we want to celebrate this person's life and what they did and what they gave.
I could have a parade.
Interestingly enough, they do that when people get married too.
Yes.
So going back to that,
depending on what colors they're wearing,
marriage or funeral, both doing the celebration.
So there are an array of Filipino traditions. The Tinguan people dress the deceased in the fanciest of clothes and sit the body on a chair, often placing a lit cigarette in the lips.
Hell yeah.
While the Bengut people blindfold their dead before placing them in chairs at the entrance of the home.
What's up with the chairs? Do they then play musical chairs with them?
They're like, we just want you to be comfortable, so we're not going to make you stand. We're going to have you sit.
And is it just like a rocking chair, or what kind of chair? Does the chair matter?
I don't think the chair matters.
I feel like that would be... Do they have to tie him to the chair?
I would think... No. I think they could just sit up for a while. As they start dissolving, I think they take them away.
Well,
there's no recollection of it doesn't tell me here how long they're set out for.
Well, rigor mortis sets in really quickly, but then after a while it stops.
Rigor mortis?
Rigor mortis, yeah. Rigor mortis, girl. And then they're more pliable.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so the Cebuano people dress children attending funerals in red to lessen the chance that they will see ghosts.
Wait, live children?
Yes, the children who are going to go.
Where are these people? Who is this?
The Cebuano people.
Who are they? Where are they?
In the Philippines.
Oh, okay. I thought there's a lot of...
There is a lot.
There's a lot of...
There's deep diving into the Philippines.
Yeah, Mabuhay.
Well, they have a lot of different ones depending on where you live or what kind of
in
your
Isn't
region
the
and
Philippines
stuff.
small?
It's 1,000 islands.
Oh.
So it's
that's a good dressing.
1,000 Islands. So when you're backstage, you're like 1,000 Islands dressing right now.
Wait, what was? I have to think of what we talked about last time, which was a good track name. Anyway.
And then I was also looking at there is a tradition from the Versani in India, which involves parading the dead through the streets. The bodies are dressed in colors specific to the virtue of the deceased. So, they choose red for purity, or yellow for knowledge, and so on.
What color would you be?
What color is
Shady bitch.
Nasty Skank?
I think brown.
Gray.
No, brown. Gray is boring. If you're boring, you'd be gray.
One of the things that people know most, because it's used a lot in movies and stuff like that, is Nordic burials, where they put them they're at the deceased up and they put them in a boat,
and
then ship them off into
the
water,
shoot an arrow at them or something.
Shoot an arrow, a flaming arrow. That's my superhero name. Flaming arrow at it to light it on fire.
Wouldn't you feel so stressed if you were the one that had to like shoot?
Oh my god!
the
Could
arrow?
you imagine if you had to shoot the arrow?
Well, I'm
No.
sure they have multiple arrows.
Yeah, but still,
Or do
what if
you,
you-
do
what
you
if you
have to
miss?
get on the first time? Well, I would hope. I mean, you have
like
to.
that's a lot of pressure.
Do you
Well, they
practice?
probably are good at it.
You hope.
It depends on how wealthy you were. You know, either you get the A-level shooter.
Imagine if you, it's like you get one, and then it's like, well, we missed. Sorry.
If you planned ahead and paid in advance, you get the good
I bet you can lock in the rate.
Please lock in.
Lock in your arrower or whatever. Archer?
It's an archer.
Man person. Oh, Lord.
So anyway,
what other
but-
culture things? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. But I was like, I thought that was very interesting because it like took me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. But just like from thinking about how much time and energy was spent on Queen Elizabeth II.
And did you watch any of it?
No,
Thank you, me neither.
well, that's fine. A lot of people didn't. So whether you did or didn't, it made us think, and I appreciate that. And I'm like, I'm glad that I have some
perspective.
Right, and I'm like, I'm glad I have some time left, hopefully, knock on wood, before my own funeral. So,
Have you planned it? Do you have a will?
do I have a will? I don't have a will yet.
Well, everything.
That's my husband who would help me.
Yeah. Do you have a trust? Or is that the same thing?
I have trusted my husband that he'll help
There
me
you
get
go.
my will together.
They go one and same.
Oh, see? There you go.
So you
I
do
didn't
have
know
a-
that.
Again, I have nothing, so there's nothing that gets passed on. Except apparently my life insurance policy that is whatever. Oh, actually, no. I think if I die at work, I think I get something.
You get something or
Not, obviously not. Well, I'd be dead. It's like, what is that? Like death?
a bullet. You
Accidental,
get a bullet when you die.
accidental death or something? I don't know. I think it's a benefit.
All right. Well, on that note, have a great night, everyone.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.
We want to take this time to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. And we want to remind you, don't forget, you get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TUGAYS, that's TUGAYS, at manscaped.com.
Use that code now to unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.